So this has a couple of names. Some people call it a wastegate, such as myself. Some people calls it an actuator. What do you call it? So in this video, I'm going to give you guys a full guide, not only just how to change the springs in it, but I want to explain to you guys how it works. I've got a demonstration here of a stock standard one. Yes, this is a upgradable part, which I bought for my car. So I'm going to show you guys how it works, what's the function, the movement, and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm quickly going to get the old turbo next to me in front of the camera so we can run quickly down and show you guys or explain to you guys what it basically does. When I told you I've got an old turbo next to me, I really meant it. So this part obviously goes against the block. This one is where your air blows towards your intercooler and goes to the engine, and it sucks air from over there. So you're looking straight at it. This right over here is the wastegate. It doesn't have any electronics onto it. As you guys can see, it's just bolted down. It's in here. There's nothing controlling it but this pipe. So as you guys can see, this pipe actually broke off. This pipe was supposed to be over here. This is actually a gifted turbo, so it's not like I did not look at it and then broke it. So yeah, this pipe has to go right over there. So this is what you guys know as a boost controller, a N75 valve, or whatever you guys want to call it. So it actually works very simple. Let's quickly take this pipe out of the equation, right? You have got two pipes coming in from it. So this pipe over here and this pipe over here. So because this pipe is going to your air intake, which means whenever your turbo is trying to spool up, it's going to suck air from this pipe. So the air is going to come in, and then the boost is going to be formed over here and it blows it out. So that tells you that this pipe over here is vacuum because it picks up the pressure of the vacuum coming in. And then this one, after the boost has built up and blowing out, it picks up the amount of boost you're having. All of it is going to this N75 valve over here, where it's basically seeing, okay, this is the vacuum, this is the boost. And once it has reached its boost, it's plugged in and connected to the ECU. The ECU will let this valve know, okay, you can open now. So basically, what will happen is when this one is over here, let's see if it can stay there again. There we go. So once the boost has been met, so let's say you were requesting 1 bar boost and there's 1 bar boost now, the ECU is going to tell them, okay, you've got to open 20% or whatever the case is. So it's going to, the solenoid inside is actually going to move a bit. It's going to apply a pressure to your wastegate. So there's going to be the pressure from the boost is going to go to your wastegate and push it open. So basically when it pushes it open, the shaft is going to expand. I will show you guys just now when I'm going to pull it. So if we quickly turn it around, as it's pushing it, because the air coming in is pushing it, the shaft's going to be pushed, which means it's going to come downwards. Yes. Yeah, it's going to come downwards. When it comes downwards, this is your wastegate. So it's your wastegate and then going over here, and then your wastegate flap, sorry. So basically what happens is, as soon as this one pushes open, this one opens up, which means that the boost coming from your engine, remember it comes through your engine over here, and then it's going to go through this turbine over here. And that's what's going to make boost. But because this flap is opening, it means that all the air coming down the shaft will leak through there. So basically, it's making a boost leak, but inside your exhaust. So that's how it's going to control it. So your wastegate basically helps to control your boost. So whenever you got your 1 bar, to avoid it from going to 1.1 bar, it will open, and then over here you'll leak boost and your boost will be controlled. Simple as that. So this thing will be upgraded on my car. So I'm going to show you guys quickly. I'm going to put the camera on the stand. I'm going to push it open so you guys can see how the flap opens to give you a better understanding. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to install this piece over here. What is the use of this piece? This is just basically to get the correct distance for your wastegate so that your flap is closed. I mean, if it is, for example, let's say in a position like this, where it's too far. Remember, I had to push it in order to get the flap open. So if it's too far, it basically means your flap will be in an open position. So then you'll just lift it out and you'll close it a bit, and once you have reached the right position, you're gonna go and lock it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get another one of these bolts. On some other cars, I did see that this bolt actually sometimes can vibrate loose. Not saying that it will do much, but you just don't want that play of this loose bolt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another bolt in here, just so that the one bolt can lock the other bolt, just to hold it tightly and firmly. This is a very big job to install it. You want to take all the precaution you can to make sure you don't have to go back down there and try to fix it. It's obviously like, it's one of the crazy stupidest things to install, because you have to remove your entire turbo, which means oil, coolant, and all that stuff has to be removed. So that is basically how you install this bottom part, and then you're gonna obviously tighten it down. Okay, and as you can see here, basically this part is just gonna go in here. Underneath it has like a circlip that you just take out. You're gonna put this one in, and that part is done. Obviously you're gonna make sure your tension is fine. Right over here you can see it's got the two balls. Those two balls are gonna go in over there, and then your pipe will go in over there. So it might happen that this pipe, if I'm looking at it, will be like this. It will be like that. So it's gonna have to come down. You're might have to play a little bit around to get it in over this nipple. Otherwise, maybe when we do change the spring now, you can always take it out, turn it a bit, or turn it to a side, just to make the pipe go in easier. As you guys can see, if it broke off, it means that it's pretty brittle in that case, I would say. So just be very careful not to break any parts. Okay, so there we go. It's gonna go right over there. You guys got an idea now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start changing the spring. Okay, we are getting to the fun part now, but this is like the fourth time I'm trying to do this clip, okay? Reason being is it's very important for you to know that making the wrong decision when changing the spring can cause damage to your engine, can cause damage to your turbo, can cause damage to your shoes, because yeah, you're gonna have to walk everywhere. This is very important. If you do not know which spring to put in for your application, whatever the case is, please guys, do go and ask for a second opinion. Ask on Facebook groups, ask friends, ask whoever, okay? So I'm going to tell you my story. It's going to be a little bit long. I'll drop time frame for you guys on the screen to just see how to do it, and you don't have to hear my story. I've got a friend that basically has the similar turbo, and he's running the red spring, okay? His car is handling the boost, is making 1.4 bar boost from 3,000 RPM, still 7,000 RPMs. Great. Turbo is happy, everything is good. The engine is going great. The fuel system can deliver the right amount of fuel, and a car is really powerful and reliable in that matter. The only thing I did not tell you was his turbo is hybrided, okay? So it means that his turbo is actually capable of giving that amount of pressure, whereas my turbo is completely stock, sadly. So that means if I have to put in the red spring, I'm gonna ask a lot from my turbo. How do I know that? Because my friend that has a hybrid turbo, and supposedly hybrid in the front side, which is the intake side and the exhaust side, is basically hybrided, and then the shaft that runs the blades, the turbine and the compressor wheel. So what happens is his car is giving 1.4 bar of boost, but at what wastegate duty cycle? So wastegate duty cycle is basically how hard your wastegate and your boost controller has to work to make that certain amount of pressure. So to give you an idea, the less percentage it is, so let's say I'm asking for 0.5 bar boost, my wastegate duty cycle might be 20%. Okay, it's not a lot of boost. The turbo is happy, it tells me I can add more boost. Okay, let's run 1 bar boost. Okay, now we are reaching about 60% duty cycle of the wastegate. Now at 1.4 bar boost, my friend's actuator, or wastegate, whatever you want to call it, is running basically at 95% wastegate duty cycle, which tells me that at 1.4 bar, his turbo is working extremely hard, right? It's going to cause the problem with the lifespan of the turbo. The turbo is always going to overwork when your foot is down, fully accelerating, and all that kind of stuff. And that is with a red spring at 1.4 bar. Considering that if I put a blue spring in, I might get 1.3 bar. Not definitely, but I might get 1.3 or close to 1.3, whatever the case is. That feels a little bit better, because it means if his turbo is hybrided and running 95% on duty cycle on 1.4 bar boost, there's no how my turbo will be able to deliver 1.4 bar. And the nice thing about the blue spring is, in my case, because my turbo is stock, is that stock standard, your spring in your car is 0.7. Just to get an average, a 0.7, which is the yellow one. All right, so for you to go and then doing like a stage 1 on your car, maybe you're running at 0.9 bar boost, and then obviously pushing your car a bit more, you can go upwards. So I can basically have a stock standard tune in my car, which is still performing like a stage 1 and doing it reliably, and then moving over to more boost whenever I'm requesting it, for if I'm doing a racing file or something of the sort. So it feels to me the blue is more in my range now for a stock standard turbo. So what's your story? I don't know. Ask a second opinion. Yeah, maybe there is going to be a possibility I will not be happy with my performance and I want to go to the red one, but yeah, it's one of those things I have to try and do and see and take it from there. Okay, so enough talking. We're going to put the blue one into the wastegate, so let's quickly remove it. Kind of a strong spring. Let me feel compared it to, even when I look at it, the red one is a little bit longer, which just means it's got more spring. Oh, wow. Jeez, that's a... I mean, this is my left hand, my right hand, like, obviously it is, but I can feel this one is much stiffer. Like, the end, almost like you can feel like it's getting tight, is like the starting pressure from this one. So this one is much tighter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the blue one. I'm going to move that to the back. And for this, we're going to need a 3 Allen key. I just want to make sure. Okay, so we're approaching to remove the top part. So just know that the spring inside is compressed. So when you're going to remove this, as you guys can see, I left 2 in over here, 1, 2. So I'm going to remove them bit for bit for bit as it's actually expanding. If you're just going to go and remove this whole thing, it's just going to shoot off completely. Okay, I also see now, interesting fact, there's also screws there. Okay, so let's quickly, I'm just going to hold it with my thumb. But yeah, this can be a little bit dangerous, guys. Please just be very careful. I can actually see it expanding a bit, so I've got enough strength to keep it down. In some occasions where the spring is way too strong and all that kind of stuff, people actually use those vice grips and things. Yeah, but now I'm just trying to let go slowly. Okay, I'm just gonna hold it down. I'm actually compressing it almost completely, so I'm gonna remove the screws. Almost. The bottom one is out. And the last one. There we go. Okay, slowly remove it. There we go. Okay, so I think by the looks of it, we're gonna have to take this back off quickly. Take the screw off. There we go. And slide it out. There we go. Okay, and there we are. Quickly had to take a photo there. It's not like you can get a photo of this every day, right? So this part just slided out completely on its own. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make sure I keep the right direction of this one over here. We're going to take the blue one. It actually like kind of almost, oh, there we go. That fits on almost perfectly. And we're going to go and shove the blue one in. Looking at it, wow, it might actually be very difficult. If it's installed in your car, it might actually be very difficult to get it out because it means you have to turn it out. So you're going to loosen it and turn it out. Oh, gosh. Yeah, look, I must say, if you do not put the right spring in, you might going to have to take the turbo out again. Because, yeah, I was hoping that when this cap comes off, the shaft in it would have remained, but the shaft came with it. So it means that you have to turn it loose in order to get it out of the car to change the spring. Huh. All fun and games, eh? Until something like that happens. Okay, so now what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to compress it again and then obviously tighten it down. So looking at it, this is how it's going to be bolted onto the turbo and we're going to place it back similar to this. Also, I saw the screw here. You guys see that screw there? I wonder what it's for. Maybe it's like for... I've got absolutely no idea. Kind of interesting though. Okay, so it's going to be bolted onto my turbo like this. The N75 valve is there. Cannot make it go. I think the best will be is to put it back like it was, which is basically like this. Okay, and there we go. We are, wait for it. I'm just going to go get another one of these M-nuts. But anyway, there we go. And I mean, it's probably not it's kind of necessary, but yeah, I'll rather just get 2 out of past experience. And there we go. So now we have the blue spring in it. Sorry, above the camera, just to let you guys know, there's the 2 red spring and the yellow spring. So let's feel the difference. Oh wow, there's like a massive, like using the same amount of strength. Like I'm not even joking, I'm literally using, like this one I can squish easy. This one is, yeah. Massive difference. I can't believe a little spring can make such a big difference in power. Anyway guys, there we go. So this is where we're going to end the video. I hope I learned you guys a lot about the actuator / wastegate, whatever you want to call it, about the springs, the install. I'm going to do a video on how you install. It's probably going to be the next video, but this was very important for me to install the spring and make you guys understand exactly what it does. I mean, it's a proper full guide tutorial. I hope it to be. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you all in our next one when we install it.